Means the start of basketball season, but not this year. The Crusaders, picked in preseason to finish last, had their own Cinderella year. Today at Brown Stadium, Valpo hosts top-ranked Morehead State for the Valparaiso, Indiana on a mild late November day for the championship game of the 1AA Mid-Major Pioneer Football League. The top-ranked Eagles of Morehead State against the hometown Crusaders of Valparaiso. Hello again, everyone. I'm Paul Crane, and this is a potential milestone day for each of these teams. Morehead State is not only playing for the league championship, but the possible winning of the 1AA Mid-Major National Championship. Valparaiso playing in a conference championship game for the first time in school history. Joining me again this week is the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons and Houston Oilers, Jerry Glanville, and coach on the Morehead State side. We've got a powerful offense run by a solid quarterback in David Caudle.
We got to talk about David Caudle. He's going to end an outstanding career on this field today. Here's a guy that offensively has gained over 8,000 total yards. You're talking about 5 miles of football from that man. And over on defense, you got to look at their middle linebacker, Craig Unger. He's out of Ohio. He's a junior. He's an academic All-American. That means he can read and write, DeMarco. But he's made over 300 single individual tackles. What fun guys to watch.
Eagles are good on both sides of the ball, but so is Valparaiso. Coach mentioned DeMarco. We'll bring in the other member that'll be in the booth with us today, DeMarco Farr, the former Washington Husky and St. Louis Ram. And on the Valparaiso side, DeMarco, another good offense and a great quarterback there as well, and David Mackey.
Yeah, really good, really efficient offense, but it all begins with David Mackey. We met the guy yesterday. He came up without uniform on, 5'9". We're like, this can't be the quarterback. You look at his stats, 3,400 yards, 34 touchdowns. The guy can really throw the ball. In fact, when they recruited him, they said, if you're not our starting quarterback your freshman year, it's your fault.
Well, out of uniform, standing next to you is one thing, on the field is another entirely, and he's got a great receiver to throw to in Rob Giancola, who's got 22 touchdown catches.
All he does is get open, man. All he does is find the zone, score touchdowns.
And scoring touchdowns is what it's all about. That is certainly a combo we'll be watching closely today. Let's bring in the fourth member of our broadcast team this week, Courtney George. Courtney.
Thanks, Paul. Well, this is the first conference championship of this football season. And what makes this one unique? Well, it's 2 non-scholarship schools, which means these guys play for strictly pure heart and desire and the will to win. They pay to play, they pay their own ways, and nothing is given to them, nothing's handed to them. So you're going to see some hard-hitting action. There's no NFL scouts in the stands. There's no Nike contracts. This is all straight from the heart. These guys want to play. And after today, well, there's nowhere else to go. It all comes down to 1 wins and 1 goes home defeated. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Courtney. They love the game, and so do we. Stick around. It's the championship of the Pioneer Football League coming up next on the Football Network.
Exercise and sports are an enjoyable and important part of life. Yet, in spite of training and your best efforts, injuries do occur. When you need treatment for sports injuries or require orthopedic surgery, choose the Valparaiso Orthopedic Clinic. See Doctors Malater, Leland, Toma, Luker, Kruska, Kay, and Clark. They have an ongoing commitment to using the best and latest technology in the treatment of sports injuries. Serving Northwest Indiana for 24 years with locations at Cumberland Drive in Valparaiso, the Portage Community Hospital, and Chesterton Medical Clinic. Call 464-8581.
The 3,600 students from nearly every state and more than 40 countries studying in Valparaiso University's undergraduate, graduate, and law programs are attracted to Valpo for a variety of reasons. For some, it's the appeal of small classes with highly respected faculty. For others, it's a strong academic program within a heritage of religious values. Attracting others is the high job placement rate of graduates, the attractive campus, and the wide variety of engaging student activities. What they find is all of these elements, and still more, at Valparaiso University.
Buffalo Louise has it all. I said Buffalo Louise has it all. Here at Buffalo Louise we have it all.
It's Valparaiso's favorite family-oriented casual dining restaurant, Buffalo Louise, featuring our award-winning Buffalo Louise style chicken wings with 15 different homemade sauces, only 33 cents every Tuesday night. Stop in at Buffalo Louise and watch your favorite sport on one of our 9 TVs.
We have it all for you.
Since 1889, First National Bank has helped individuals, families, and friends build the homes and businesses that are the foundation of our community. Today, that commitment to the community, our customers, and their well-being remain our main concern. With services such as free online banking, a discount brokerage, mutual funds, including Fidelity investments added to traditional banking services. First National Bank of Valparaiso, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Valparaiso, Indiana, where we're just about set to go. And 3 keys to the game, gentlemen. Of course, they're similar in almost every game that's played.
Well, it's one big key today is both teams have outstanding quarterbacks. If you look down there, we wrote down the defense must stop the quarterbacks. And both teams like to throw the ball, but they both said they've got to be able to run the football.
Yeah, they got to make adjustments also, especially in the second half with Valpo running their offense and Morehead State running their, especially Morehead State. When they run their motion offense, it's important for Valpo to make those adjustments, keep your discipline, make big tackles in the backfield.
Well, Morehead State won the toss, has elected to defer, so Valparaiso will be receiving the football, which means we're going to see one of those 2 outstanding offenses early on. David Mackey probably likes having the football in his hands first.
I think he does. I think he likes to have the ball in his hands.
And one thing DeMarco said, the guy is not tall in stature, but he's a big-time ball coming out of his hand. He throws that thing like he's 6'4".
Comes out like a rocket launcher.
Head coach Matt Ballard of Morehead State is in his 10th season at Morehead. Last year's Pioneer League Coach of the Year. His Eagles have now won back-to-back South Division titles, and he has not had a losing season since 1995. On the other side, Valparaiso coach Tom Horn is in his 15th season at Valpo. We mentioned the 1-10 a year ago. He led the Crusaders to the Pioneer League Championship in 2000. That was the year before the PFL broke into divisions and added this championship game. He was the Pioneer League Coach of the Year in 1999 after a 9-2 season. So he in particular has had a real roller coaster ride. He's seen the best of the best. There's Matt Ballard. And the worst of the worst. Matt Ballard, when he first got to Morehead State, opened 0-11.
And he also at Morehead State, when he was there, they were a full scholarship football program. And they've gone from full scholarship to the program that they have here now.
But again, he has come a long, long way from that 0-11. Had back-to-back losing seasons and then none since those first 2 years. Morehead kicks, and we are underway.
Oh, wow. Hello.
Kevin Grimaldi gets met just across the 25, and the Crusaders will start from there.
Nice tackle. Big-time hit on the opening kickoff. I think we're going to see a lot of that.
That's how you want to start a football game, with a big hit. Get your bench fired up early and often.
Well, there's the quarterback, David Mackey. He's the leading passer in the Pioneer League, averaging more than 309 yards per game. He's number 3 in all of 1AA in total offense and passing efficiency. So the Crusaders starting just over their 20-yard line. And Mackey from the shotgun calls his own number right up the gut. The quarterback draw across the 30 to about the 34, and a first down right out of the gate for the Crusaders.
Well, Craig Unger was on a blitz, the inside linebacker, and the center. What a job he did. Steven took him right to the ground.
And that's what we talked about last night in the meeting. They feel that David Mackey versus any middle linebacker is a win for them.
On the Valparaiso offensive line, only one starter is over 270 pounds, but what they might lack in size, they might make up for in technique. Backs and receivers, Nick Reed, the leading rusher, but Rob Giancola, we mentioned him, 22 touchdown passes. That's tied for the National League. 1st and 10, Valparaiso at its own 34-yard line. This is Reed, bangs off one tackle, makes his way to about the 39-yard line, gets positive yardage out of what could have been a negative situation. The Morehead defense is a 4-3 up front. Lombardo and McKenzie clog the middle, freeing Anderson and Wayne Scott to pin their ears back at times. At linebacker, we expect to see a lot of Craig Unger, who Coach mentioned. He leads the team with 102 tackles, but Odi Onyanwu is the most likely to blitz. In the secondary corner, Charles Bird has been banged up, but he's as healthy as he's been in a long time. Quasi Williams leads the team with 4 interceptions. 2nd down and 5 from the 40-yard line of Valparaiso. The Crusaders, Mackey wants to throw. His first pass incomplete. The intended receiver was Nick Reed out of the backfield.
Well, they had a one back in the backfield, and they had wide receivers everywhere. What'd they do? They sent that one back in motion. So here we are with empty backfield, throwing the football. And that's really what Valpo is all about. Put that ball up.
And you watch the protection by Valpo. They do a lot of cut protections. They have a lot of different protections. They're really going to try to slide to Unger and try to keep him out of that passing formation when he blitzes.
So it brings the Crusaders into a 2nd and 5 situation from their own 40, but there's a penalty. It looks like we're going to be doing this over. The referees see something they don't like.
Uh-oh, Coach.
Offense.
Penalty.
15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
A personal foul on 2nd down, and an incompletion makes 3rd and short into 3rd and very long. 3rd and 20 for the Crusaders, now pushed back at their own 25-yard line. Mackey with 4 wide receivers, has plenty of time, drops one over the top, intended for his tight end Kenny Kyle, but overthrows. It's incomplete, and Valparaiso will have to punt.
Well, one thing Valpo had was tremendous pass protection. Better get a better rush than that, don't you think,
Well,
DeMarco?
that's Morehead State going to the 3-man rush. I don't like when you kind of concede the rush for the pass coverage, but that time it worked. It happened to work out for Morehead State.
So Ryan Bateman will be on to punt. He's averaging almost 37 yards per kick. And Ralph Del Sardo, a wide receiver, is the lone deep man. Bateman's punt. Del Sardo fields at his own 45 and is hit virtually immediately. Good coverage by Valparaiso, but it'll be great field position. Ambrose Brown on the coverage, but again, great field position for Morehead State in their first possession of the game.
You can see where a personal foul really hurts you in the field position battle.
Well, there's the Morehead State quarterback we talked about, David Caudle, 6'2" senior with a strong arm and big playability. He can beat teams in many ways. He's also the Eagles' leading rusher, so he can use his legs when he needs to.
And 210 pounds.
Tough to bring
All
down.
muscle.
1st and 10, Morehead State. From its own 48-yard line, the Eagles' first possession of the game. Eli Parks, the man in motion, and the ball carrier. He's met just across the line of scrimmage. A tough gain of 2 on the play. Now the Morehead offensive line, the Eagles have a definite size advantage here. Corley is 310 pounds, while Justin Farrar is the only lineman under 290.
Wow.
The backs and receivers, we mentioned Ralph Del Sardo, Morehead's leading receiver, but Eli Parks, who we just saw a frequent target out of the backfield in a 3-back set with no tight end. Gain of 2 on the play from Parks. 2nd and 8. Daniel Morrison, the man in motion. Tough yardage again. And we had what looked like a fumble. Justin Farrar picking it up. Now, Valpo plays a 4-man front. Pressure on the quarterback often comes from the edges. Bill Marshall and James Riker combined for 11 sacks. Linebackers led by the man in the middle. Lawrence Canada tops on the team in tackles for the 2nd straight season. The secondary includes 2 former offensive players. Free safety Brad Smea was a wide receiver last year, and corner Chris Daniels was a running back. But they do a nice job in the secondary now. So 3rd and 7 for Morehead State. Just inside Valpo territory at the Crusader 49. Caudle with time, wants to throw. It's Del Sardo who gets popped right away by Michael Schnoor, and Morehead State will have to punt.
Well, they're playing zone on defense, which means people are waiting for you to come into their area. And you'll see the linebacker sitting and waiting. There he is. Bang! Oh, Michael put the hit on him.
Well, Morehead State's getting away from what they like to do. They like to have you not 3rd and short, not 3rd and long, and throw the ball versus man coverage, but that defensive line from Valpo is doing a great job right now.
Well, 2 teams very offensive-minded has shown some solid defense early on here. And the last time these teams played each other on this field in October, Valparaiso jumped ahead 14-0, and Morehead had to climb out of that hole using the big play offense to get back into the game. And right now, again, defenses dominating early here, and Morehead State decides to call timeout before the punt.
I don't understand that. They had 11 on the field. If you got 11 out there, you go ahead and take your penalty. Just take a 5-yard penalty. Don't waste the time.
Might be 11 of the wrong guys, though.
I haven't seen anybody leave, though. Same guys are out there.
Well, we'll let the 2 head coaches talk things over. We're scoreless early on, and we'll be back on the Football Network in just a moment.
All the tests keep...
Nothing we try seems to work.
Ah, that's exactly what I thought. Why, this man is suffering from acute atrophy of the football gland. He needs a dose of HD plasma, 42-inch stat. Clear!
PFN, the football network, preps, college, pros, fantasy, the what's new, what's now, and what's next of anything and everything football. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year.
Stan, you're going to be okay.
Exercise your football gland. PFN, the football network. It's what TV was meant to be.
It's good to taste the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field together. It's good to throw a 5,000-mile post pattern together. It's good to make your entire league beg for mercy together. NFL Fever 2004, rated E for everyone. It's good to play together.
Spike TV presents Fantasy Football 2003. Count your blessings, my friend, because you've just discovered Fantasy Football 2003. Everything you need to totally dominate your league. Every Saturday morning at 9 on Spike TV.
Welcome back to Valparaiso, Indiana. Opening moments of the football game. It's the Pioneer Football League Championship. Morehead State and Valparaiso. Morehead on its first possession. It's going to be a 3-and-out as they're ready to punt. Aaron Charles with two deep men waiting. Makes a nice catch of a bad snap. Coming toward Matt Vandali, but it's going to go out of bounds. Not a very good punt, and Valparaiso should be happy with the field position it will get almost at its 30-yard line.
Well, you get a bad punt whenever you get a high snap. When the punter's got to jump around and try to find the ball, it sort of takes away his rhythm and his steps, and that's why you got such an ugly punt.
Well, the Crusaders will start at their own 29-yard line. This now their second possession of the game. 11:30 to go first quarter. Scoreless thus far. David Mackey with three wide receivers to his left. One swung out wide to the right. Single back set, but that's Vandali in motion. Now he's got four receivers to his left. Looking left is Mackey, throwing over the middle, and he hits Giancola. Giancola averaging over 26 yards a catch. That's something we don't see often. Virtually no gain on a pass to Rob Giancola.
Well, I think what they're counting on man-to-man, and they're seeing zone. So you only throw that short underneath route. Watch them run across from left to right on your TV. They're hoping that somebody's man-to-man running with them, but oh no. There's Craig Unger waiting on him, coming the other way. You can't be successful with those routes against a zone secondary.
And a middle linebacker like Unger who can make the tackles. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for the Crusaders. Mackey in the shotgun. Again, Vandali in motion. Mackey alone. Pumps one side, now runs to his right. Mackey tucks and gets across the 35, diving nearly to the 40-yard line. He'll be very close to a first down.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Morehead State comes out and runs a twist, a tackle twist, which means the tackle switches responsibility. Mackey will find that lane. If he sees an open lane, he's going to take it and go. They feel a 9-yard gain by the quarterback is good enough for them. He doesn't always have to throw the ball, and he's very good using his legs to get first downs.
Woo. He can do it all, can't he?
Looks like Flutie.
Yes.
Well, on 2nd and long, a 9-yard gain is something that's pretty good because it brings it out 3rd and very short. Less than a yard now for the Crusaders, who push it out close to their own 39-yard line.
This is when you bring in the diesel.
And they come with 3 backs in the backfield on short yardage. So you'll see this, all the backs in the backfield as they try to mush it in there for a yard.
Reed, Vandali, and Bill all back there. And they muscle it straight ahead for the first down. It's Robert Clark on the carry, and Clark gets enough yardage for the first down to move the chains.
Well, they're running a lead. You'll see the lead. One back went in motion, and the lead came right up through there. That was Nick Reed not carrying the ball. He's the guy trying to do the blocking.
And it did a nice enough job to push it out to the 47-yard line. So the first time the chains moved this afternoon, the Crusaders with another 1st and 10 near midfield.
All the trips formations have been into the boundary. The short side of the field is where you see 3 wide receivers.
It's like a Morehead State.
That's where they are for Mackey now. To his right, Knudsen alone to the left. Mackey again tries to run. Gets out to midfield, a gain of about 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 7 from there.
Now, when they told us Mackey was going to run, I didn't think they meant every down.
This time he was in the shotgun, DeMarco. He got in the shotgun and ran a quarterback draw.
And just a week ago at Aurora, Mackey was named the Pioneer Football League Player of the Week for his 5 touchdown passes. And, of course, we're far more accustomed to seeing him throw the ball than run it the way he is already today.
We'll definitely see him throw the ball before the game's over.
You know what I liked yesterday when we talked to him? He said, I've never won the championship in anything. This is my chance to be a champion. What a great kid he was, talking to him.
Gain of about 3. Short 7 left here on 2nd down. Mackey wants to throw. Play action going up top. Looking for Knutson. A lot of coverage and banging down the sideline there. It's overthrown and incomplete. And head coach Tom Horn would like to have some kind of an interference call, but the official, I believe, thinks it was not a catchable football.
And we got to say this about the officials today. This is Mid-American Conference officials being graded off of this to see if they can move up to the next level. So they're trying to do the best. Look at the mud we got on David already.
You don't like to have mud in your quarterback this early.
No. That's the one guy you like to stay clean.
Keep clean.
Well, there was a lot of contact down the sideline, but no call there. So it brings about a 3rd and a long 6 from midfield for the Crusaders of Valparaiso. 9:15 to play first quarter, scoreless in the Pioneer Football League Championship game. Mackey, quick toss, looking for Knutson, overthrows him. It's incomplete. Chris Hutchinson, the strong safety, again on the coverage.
Well, that's a bad pass. That pass is uncatchable, a little bit too high, and you don't want to throw high inside.
I think the coverage by Morehead is really confusing David Mackey right now. They're keeping those safeties up close, but not far enough back so he can throw those intermediate routes right now. So he's really not on his game right now. They're trying to calm him down on the sidelines right now.
You know what I think maybe happened to Marco? They maybe got him prepared to see man, and he's seeing all zone back in there. Sometimes that'll really confuse. In fact, the offensive coordinator said, I sure hope they blitz us and play man. Well, they're not doing that.
Ryan Bateman's punt bounces at the 15, and Ralph Del Sardo fields it at the 10. Up across the 20, knocked out of bounds around the 25-yard line. Ralph Del Sardo and the Eagles will start from there. Scoreless with just over 9 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Morehead State and Valparaiso for the Pioneer Football League Championship. We'll be back in a moment.
I got business all over the country.
Over the world.
Week to week, I know I'm going somewhere.
And there's nothing worse than flying a different airline.
Every time I'm in a different city. I'm looking for one airline.
One airline.
Same airport.
Same check-in.
One frequent flyer program.
Same website for everything.
One airline.
Tons of cities.
Problem solved.
Next time you fly, get a lot more airline. American Airlines.
My name is Tommy, and I fly American Airlines.
American.
My name is David Salazar. I fly American Airlines.
Give me an A! Give me a G! Give me an O! And I can go and I can do it. Here I go. Okay, no, we're on.
For more info, go to OperationGraduation.com.
You're asking me? That's so embarrassing. No. 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 Nope. No. No.
Will you go to the prom with me?
No.
Oh, please.
For more info, go to OperationGraduation.com.
Being a football coach is a lot like being a parent. Watching a young person mature is something very special. You challenge them both mentally and physically, and show them the value of teamwork and sportsmanship. It's education at its best for the players and for me. NCAA football, a lifetime of opportunity.
Welcome back to Brown Field on the campus of Valparaiso University, where the hometown Crusaders and Morehead State.
Look at that. I think DeMarco would look good in one of those.
I look good in anything. A little
A little confusion in the backfield as Daniel Morrison runs into David Cardle, but it works out fairly well as he picks up positive yardage to the left side across the 35. Goes to a first down before Brad Smea knocked him out of bounds.
We got a flag.
A little laundry out there.
A little laundry hanging out there. That was a little motion counter. Kind of like that play.
Well, it kind of looked like something might have fallen off the head of that fan.
Something they just drew up.
Yeah.
See some floppy yellow out there. We'll see what the officials saw.
Probably, I wouldn't guess, but it's not where I was going to say Holden, but usually Holden's a little deeper throw than that.
Well, the way they're backing Morehead State up, it looks like it would be a hold, and it is.
Anytime you get a counter
from the spot of the foul, repeat first down.
When you get a counter misdirection, some people will grab a hold.
That's my favorite guy, Matthew Collette. He's only 225 pounds, playing nose tackle. He gets my All Courage Award.
Wow.
Well, now it creates a 1st and 20 situation. Eli Parks, the man in motion.
Look at that.
Caudle struggles off the snap and gets dropped for a loss, and all of a sudden the Eagles have a problem.
Guess who? Matthew Collette. Anytime they bring it near him.
5'9", 225 pounds, the redshirt freshman Matthew Collette.
We saw the bad snap. The snap went on the ground.
Look at him. Just fighting. You love that. Get in there and dig down.
Unless, of course, you're David Caudle. And now 1st and very long has become 2nd and longer as both of these high-octane offenses
shut down so far.
Have had a problem getting started. From the 14-yard line, Caudle rolls to his right, throws back to his left. Long pass into double coverage, intended for Jabari McGee, overthrown, and it might have been a good thing for Morehead State that it was overthrown.
You think these two defenses know these offenses? Everything their offenses are doing for both sides of the ball, the defense are one step ahead of them. Double coverage down the middle of the field. Caudle tried to force it in there, but I think he threw a safe ball in double coverage. If the receiver can't get it, the defenders can't get it.
The two safeties were the men on the coverage, John Sahas and Brad Smea.
Well, it sort of reminds me of the National Football League, because you sometimes get to play people in your division twice. And when you get to play somebody more than once a year, the defense has got a little bit of edge here right now.
We talked about adjustments from their meeting October 4th, and it appears early on that both teams have made significant adjustments. Neil Preston, the lone wide receiver, split wide to the right, and hold on just a moment. Parks had been the man in motion, but again, the referees see something they don't like.
Flag in the backfield here.
Bravo, could be a delay of game, though. Did he get the playoff on time?
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, it remains 3rd down.
Just over 8 minutes to play, first quarter. Still, these two offenses having their problems. Morehead State pushed back inside its own 10.
3rd and what? 3rd and a mile?
Just about. And how many yards is that?
That's a lot of yards.
That's a lot of yards.
It's over 8,000 yards. Let me see, 8,000 yards.
That was about 5 miles.
Let's
do the math.
Let's do the math.
1,760 yards in a mile.
Wow.
I do believe.
What school did you go to?
MIT. Graduate of MIT.
Not necessarily.
Missing in Toledo is what they might.
3rd and the coach's country mile. From the 9-yard line, Morehead State has been going in the wrong direction on a possession that started at its own 25.
Well, they're a team from the mountains of Kentucky, and this is a mountain mile. I like that better. This is 3rd and a mountain mile.
Well, David Caudle's going to have to pull some kind of rabbit out of his hat as he's got Neil Preston swung wide to his right, but this is a pitch to Daniel Morrison, who gets across the 15 but doesn't see the 20. John Sahas knocking him out of bounds, and again, the Eagles will have to punt.
Giving their punter a little room right here, but that's the toss that really hurt Valpo the last time they played. They still haven't stopped the toss.
And what they were going to do, they were going to read the offensive tackle, and the offensive tackle was going to tip him. That's what Valparaiso told us.
It's unique. They didn't even block the defensive end on the toss. I don't think I've ever seen a toss run that way.
And it's interesting here, last time Valparaiso had 2 deep men for the punt. Now it's only one, Brad Smea. Aaron Charles on to punt for Morehead. He has not had any punts blocked this season, but Valpo has blocked 4 during the season.
Looks like they're coming.
Yeah, it's a blocks call by Valpo. They're trying to get it here. They're all coming.
And Charles gets it away. Brad Smea calls for the fair catches. It's a good punt, backs him up inside his own 40-yard line, and Valpo will start from there. Now, if you're into fantasy football, you've got to watch Fantasy Football 2003. Airs Saturday mornings at 9 Eastern Time on Spike TV. Coach and I are joined by Danny Sheridan. This week, DeMarco was in the booth with us as well.
Bring back Danny!
We'll tell you who to pick, who to play, and who to park on the bench. If you want to win, watch Fantasy Football 2003 Saturday mornings on Spike TV.
We're going to check the ratings on that show.
Yeah, now that you were on there, we got a little trouble.
Valpo's third possession of the first quarter. Good field position at their own 38-yard line. This is Nick Reed, running room out toward the 45-yard line. A good gain pickup of about 6 on the play.
Well, this was a lead cutback, and this is a big back.
That's a big back.
This guy's running up through there, and they're going to lead. They started off the left guard, Ryan, and they decided, well, I don't like it, and he saw a little daylight over the Ted side, 59, and broke it.
I actually asked Nick how much he weighed before the game. He said, yep.
He's listed at 252, but I've got a funny feeling there's some people on the Valpo side that think he may be a bit heavier than that. Gain of around 7 with a good spot. This is Reed again, but he is met in the backfield by Odi Anyanwu and thrown for a loss.
And Odi is the blitzer. All the coaches said one guy's going to blitz from different areas, and of course coaches talking numbers. They said 53 will be the one that's blitzing. We're going to show them to you. And the coaches were aware they had to have somebody assigned to him.
They said when he blitzes from anywhere. Unger, they said when he blitzes, he usually goes through the A gap, so they're not so worried about that. But when Odi comes, he comes from anywhere on the line of scrimmage. You don't know where this guy's coming from. You have to account for him.
He was all the way outside the tackle on that blitz.
Leads the team in tackles for loss. That now his 14th of the season. Mackey in 3rd and 6. Up top, looking long for Giancola. Overthrows him. Giancola had his man beaten Charles Bird on the play.
And overthrow, I think the quarterback needs to settle down, get his feel a little bit. He's overthrowing the slant. Remember the quick slant inside? And this time, guys, the overthrow, he was open.
Hasn't really been pressured yet.
No.
Good blocking by the offensive line.
It's not that the pressure getting to him. Maybe a little jittery. It's a big game.
Just a little bit.
Certainly want to air it out and give him a chance to run under it, but that was just too far. Again, Giancola averaging over 26 yards per catch this year. The 22 touchdown catches tied for the national lead in touchdowns on the season, but not able to connect there. So once again, Valpo will have to punt. Ralph Del Sardo, the lone man back for Morehead State. Ryan Bateman on to punt for the 3rd time. High spiraling kick, bounces at the 30-yard line and cuts left, immediately out of bounds. Del Sardo unable to field it, but Morehead State will start from its own 31.
Well, the punter almost missed the ball on that one. You saw that reverse spiral, and the punter was very lucky that he just got it with the outside of his foot.
I was watching him in warm-ups. He was banging them pretty good.
Well, look at you in the golf course. You know, you can't play at all, but at the driving range, you knock it out.
That's true.
6:15 to play first quarter, scoreless between Morehead State and Valparaiso for the Pioneer Football League Championship here on Valparaiso's home field. Quick toss out to Eli Parks. Parks with positive yardage across midfield. Into Valparaiso territory before he's knocked out of bounds by Chris Daniels inside Valpo's 40. That's the biggest offensive play by either team yet today.
And watch this. It's a tight wing, and he just slides over to the outside. And Eli is gone, and he was playing right next to the tackle. It's like a halfback flare, but he's a little wingback.
And he must have stepped out of bounds shy of the 40. The official spot is at the 41 of Valpo. Parks out of the backfield. He's the team's 2nd leading receiver on the season, behind Del Sardo.
There's like a quick motion.
And again, they motion man and keep him on the ground. Daniel Morrison and Anthony Freitag on the tackle.
I love this run and shoot offense. When they motion the guy back there, all you're really doing is motioning the eye and running the ISO. It's just trying to trick the defense, trying to get through the move, trying to get somebody to move out of position and try to gain a couple of yards up the field. That time he just slipped running through the hole.
Well, what happens is they can end up in a strong with all the backs one side, or they can end up with nobody back there pretty quickly because of the way they start the formation. Here, both halfbacks are outside the tackle. That's what DeMarco's telling you. Now here comes the halfback. They got a trips right now.
Eli Parks, the man in motion. Caudill again wants to throw, slips, and now he tucks it under and runs. Gets hit by 2 men at the 35-yard line. He'll be shy of the first down, but it'll bring about 3rd and short. James Riker, the man who hit him first.
Here's his best runs. Watch him right here, your quarterback, as he drops back, he looks around, doesn't like it, sees the little lane. That field must be a little bit wet. A lot of people are slipping.
holding together pretty well.
Talking to Caudle last night, he too was saying how excited he was about playing in this game and admitted to being a bit nervous. Couldn't wait to get the first few series out of the way so he could get rid of those butterflies. It seems to be a lot of players on both sides feeling the same. Morrison again, the man in motion on the option pitch. Morrison with the ball, first down and more, inside the 25-yard line. And once again, Morehead State moves the chains.
Does the option look any prettier? He rides the fullback, the quarterback, Caudle, and then he'll bring the ball outside. He's going to ride the fullback, come out this way, and at the very last, this guy's going to get the pitch coming all the way from the other side. Little motion, there's your ride on the fullback, pull it out. That wingback was all the way on the other side of the field when the play started. You got to love it, guys.
We said this is one of the keys to the game here. Test Valpo early, test their discipline on defense, see if they can stop the option.
And head coach Matt Ballard told us last night that Morehead State must run the football to be able to win this game today, and they're getting a lot of positive yards on the ground. Caudle, again, the pitch to Jabari McGee, coughs up the football. Here comes Valpo the other way. James Riker with running room. The referee gets run down, and Riker heads to the end zone. Valparaiso strikes first with a defensive touchdown on the turnover.
Christmas came early.
But they played it good. They were there in position with a good hit. Wasn't that great?
Michael Schnorr delivers the hit that coughs up the football out of the hands of Jabari McGee, and James Riker saying thank you very much the other way.
This is what we're talking about, with both teams so equally matched playing each other. One mistake can kill you.
Watch the toss sweep. I believe you called it the shot right on the helmet. Hit the helmet, and rather than land on the ground, wow. How about that one, guys?
Yeah, he gets a gold star.
And how big are those eyes for that defensive end, James Riker, the redshirt freshman? I guess we can call that the biggest touchdown of his career.
I think so. Break out the oxygen.
He may not be able to play the rest of the game. Extra point's good.
Andrew McCauley kicks it through, and Valparaiso strikes first. 7-0. 4:02 to play first quarter, and the hometown Crusaders have a lead in the Pioneer Football League Championship on the Football Network.
America is watching football, and football lives on TFN, the Football Network. From Pop Warner to fantasy, TFN is your coast-to-coast connection to everything on the gridiron. And with up-to-the-minute scores and highlights, TFN keeps you in the game. When enough is never enough. Exercise your football gland. This is TFN, the Football Network.
That all you got, Warren?
Going down. Yes.
Oh, God.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your deodorant is? Next time, use new Power Stripe from Right Guard. With a stripe of time-release odor fighters no other deodorant's got. Nothing looks like it, nothing works like it. Yes! Yeah. Right Guard, right to the end of the day.
Nothing stirs the emotions of a football fan like a big game. Across the years, there's been no bigger game than when the Ohio State Buckeyes take the field against the Michigan Wolverines. Welcome to one of college football's most enduring and intense rivalries. To order your DVD or VHS, call 1-800-637-6886 today. Spike TV presents Football 101. You think you know football? Well, think again, my friend. Introducing Football 101, the only complete, total overview of anything and everything football. Every Saturday morning at 9:30 on Spike TV.
With us, whoever said defenses don't win football games wasn't watching what happened just a few minutes ago. Valpo is now on top by 7, and it might be because their angel is in attendance. With me right now is their angel of the football field. Every game that she attends, they win.
Hi. Yeah, they do. I'm Karen from Indiana 105, and I come to all their games. They've never had a gal on the football field before, and I've started coming, and they've never lost since I've been here. So they make sure I show up at every football game. I have a little help with me today, though. I have Randy Moss and Michael Bennett from the NFL, from the Vikings, with us today as well. So I brought their game-worn gloves with me, and I just got back here, and I said, no, Morehead, you can't do this, you can't do this. And all of a sudden, there was a fumble, and 50 took it all the way to the house, and it was like, that happens when I'm here, and and we're ahead. And
the guys definitely get excited to see her. They all go and congratulate her as well as them. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Courtney, and thank you, Angel. Guys, good luck charms are always great as long as they were.
Need to bring her to the golf course with me.
Well, Morehead will try it again. This is Jabari McGee, who coughed up the football a moment ago. Gets hit around his 25-yard line, but Morehead State will start from around its own 29. Jeffrey Vilk on the coverage.
And Morehead State has to go right back and keep doing what they were doing. Forget that fumble, because they can run the football to the outside against Valpo.
It's kind of hard to do. Forget it didn't happen, especially for Jabari. I mean, how do you forget a fumble that gives the opponent 7 points?
But it was a possession that had a lot of good things happen. They did move the chains. They were moving the football consistently for the first time in this game, and they need to try to pick up where they left off without the fumble. 3:56 to play first quarter. 7-0 Valparaiso.
Timeout.
David Caudle under center, and hold on just a moment.
I watched the safety run up and called timeout, so he
Timeout.
saw something they didn't want to play.
Valparaiso.
Valparaiso with its first time out of the first half. And obviously, they are well aware of the big play capability of Morehead State. Valparaiso had jumped in front 14-0 last time these teams met in October, and it was bang, bang, 2 quick plays. Morehead had gotten back in the ball game. It appears they were missing a cornerback on that play.
No, you better call timeout.
Football 101 is pure, unadulterated pigskin. Our buddy DeMarco Farr and Kathleen Murphy scour the world of football to bring you unique stories and tell them TFN style. From pee-wees to the pros, get the freshest taste of football possible on Football 101. It's Saturday mornings at 9:30 Eastern on Spike TV. And if you missed it a week or so ago, the big guy DeMarco Farr, we had a great piece on his return to the University of Washington where they retired his number, and that was really, really excellent.
After 10 years, they retired my number. How long did it take you to get retired?
They retired my number. It took a little long. I guess it was about 40 years.
High school retired coach's number.
Well, you know why it took so long?
Why is that?
They had to find all the old film and burn it so that nobody could argue. They couldn't say he really wasn't that good, and they finally did it just 2 years ago.
And I thought they just lost your phone number, and they were trying to track it down.
I like that. I can go with that.
Elliot Powell back in the game. He had limped off the field during the last series for Valparaiso. 1st and 10, Morehead State. Caudle on the play action, wants to throw, has Eli Parks wide open, and Caudle overthrows him.
He rode the fullback like it was going to be option, which they had success. So he's going to ride the fullback, fake inside, and then the wingback from the right side of your screen is coming right through the post, and there's no one near him. Both quarterbacks have really have missed the key on a guy wide open deep on both sides.
Caudle knows he missed an opportunity there.
He could have went for another. How many yards does he need for another mile?
I'll get back to you on that.
Yes.
2nd and 10 from the 29-yard line. Parks the man in motion behind Caudle, who wants to throw again. With time, over the middle, incomplete. Adrian Allen, the intended receiver.
Well, I think he got roughed up by the pass rush. DeMarco, this guy was doing what you like to do, hit the quarterback.
I like that.
That's the first time we've seen a quarterback roughed up on a play.
It was a great move. Came around the corner, nice swim move, came around the corner, beat the tackle cleanly. Now, I'm telling you, when you get to Caudle, I mean, this is no easy win. This is not an easy quarterback to bring down. You really have to hit this guy and put him on the ground, or he's going to sling it in there.
Disrupted that, made him throw low.
Ross Connor, the one delivering the blow. Morehead State's allowed only 8 sacks this season. It's tied for fewest in the lead. So you're right, DeMarco. It is tough to get him. Caudle calls his own number across the 30, 35. That's the first down across the 40. The chains will move.
He's in the, we'll start off, we'll show you. He's in the shotgun. Not many quarterback draws come out of the shotgun, but this is a big guy. This guy has the power of a fullback. He's standing back here with one back. That back takes the linebacker out of it, and here he comes.
Nice job of avoiding would-be tackles there. It's no wonder Caudle is the leading rusher on the team.
You know, Morehead State's only had 3 quarterbacks in 12 years. They're all 4-year starters.
I thought you were going to say they all were freshmen for 4 years. They've been going ahead and graduating.
Not everyone went through school like some people we know. On the option, the pitch outside. And again, positive yardage there.
And this is the play where they fake it to the fullback. And what the fullback doesn't know if he's getting the football or not unless he jerks the ball up. The quarterback has to jerk the ball up and then the fullback will clamp down. Otherwise, he's going to pull the ball right out of the fullback's stomach and take it down the line and pitch.
Andrew Head, the man who takes the pitch, he's a freshman out of Cummings, Georgia.
He has to jerk
Cumming,
the ball
Georgia. That's where my race shop is.
There you go.
Hey,
like that.
Cumming, Georgia. All right, brother.
A gain of almost 9 on the carry. Brings up second and short. This is Parks. Has the first down and more in Valparaiso territory, down to the 44, perhaps 43-yard line, and there were some blows delivered there.
Well, that's what the coach said. He said, we're not going to try to shock the world. We're not going to try to do anything different. We're going to do what we always do. We're going to give the ball to our running backs, make them make yards, and when we get to the contact, we're going to punish their defenders and make them really pay for tackling us.
And he ends up a running back, but he starts out as the wing. Here he is, and like you said, DeMarco, he could be I or he could be strong. He could be either place, wherever he comes into motion. He gets his giddy up going here, motion along, and then boom, he ends up like an I tailback.
Morehead State back to the line of scrimmage, and now Caudle calls his own number again. Hit at the 38-yard line, gain of about 6 on the play, so even when plays aren't working, they are working for Morehead State.
And they're moving the ball quite a bit with Caudle. Let me tell you, when he runs the ball and runs into people, the coaches have given up on trying to get this guy to slide. And they begged him to slide, begged him to go out of bounds. He just won't do it, so they say, this is his game. Let him do what he does.
Well, I got to go back to Paul last night at dinner. Last night, Paul says the defense that can stop the other quarterback from Paul, you were a genius last night.
10-star.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Well, I'm trying to get you to pick up the check.
Second and 4 on the play. Nice pass play out to Drew Driscoll. And another first down. Kevin Rivera on the tackle.
Yeah, I like Drew Driscoll. When he catches pass, let me tell you, when you look at him, you know he's a fullback. He's got the big neck roll. He's short. He's a squatty body. And he can catch the ball.
He's right back in here. Let's see where he comes out of there in the shotgun. Little drift out. Now he comes onto the side. A delayed release. He checked for blitz. No blitz. He ran the arrow. Arrows to the sideline.
Inside Valparaiso territory at the 30-yard line. Caudle again. Wants to throw. Picked off. Intercepted.
A lineman's dream.
Nick Houseman on the interception. The lineman's dream comes true for him, and once again, Valpo's defense with a huge turnover at a big time. Riker, the man who recovered the fumble and ran it back for a touchdown, tipped the football at the line of scrimmage.
Nice job getting up high, getting his hand in the air, and guess what? He had a guy wide open running down the sideline. If it's not tipped, they got a real big play.
Living dangerously. Why is it when every defensive lineman catches a pass like that, they forget how to run?
He didn't forget. He was doing the best he could.
Oh.
First and 10, Valparaiso at its own 43-yard line. A minute 37 to play first quarter. Mackey with plenty of time. Now tucks and runs, gets back across the 45. Wanted to go deep, wasn't able to do it. Instead, will settle for a gain of 3.
I think both quarterbacks are trying to play now without making a mistake. So what we're seeing is run the play. If it's not open, tuck it and run. They're both doing a lot of running.
Let me tell you something. Charles Bird is having a day out there against Giancola. He is really shutting him down one-on-one. They're double covering everybody else to the other side of the field and leaving him one-on-one, and he is really doing a great job out there on that island.
He was the most vocal guy in the pregame warm-up. He went out and he slapped everybody on the Morehead team trying to get them ready to play.
On the Morehead.
Under a minute to play first quarter. Mackey wants to throw, tipped and almost picked off, but it's incomplete.
That's a little bit of nerves there. I mean, he should have took the gain and just went out of bounds, saved himself a hit, but instead he tries to force it. Now you had to move the ball back.
Both quarterbacks, I think, realize this. The coach said the atmosphere is not like a normal game.
Right.
This is their playoff game. This is their championship. So both guys a little bit tight. No, but you keep getting hit like that, you'll get over it.
You'll wake up.
Loosen you up if nothing else. 53 seconds to play first quarter. 3rd and 6 from Valpo's 46-yard line. Mackey in the shotgun. All alone with some time. Up top, and his receiver falls down. Rob Giancola had a step but lost his footing. And they'd love to, Valpo would love to see a flag on it, but I'm not sure they're going to get one.
Well, the official threw his baseball hat. That means they're out of bounds. That doesn't mean a penalty. Here's your best corner on the best wide receiver. Oh, good poke. Man, did he hit him out of bounds. There comes the baseball hat you saw come in. He's looking. Woo. He had a jam on the line, and then he had a jam down at the 5-yard. After they're down at 5 yards, and boy, he hit him good.
Charles Bird, that's the man DeMarco was talking about a moment ago.
You see too much.
What
a great job.
And once again, Valpo's going to be forced to punt, leading 7-0, 47 seconds to play first quarter. Ralph Del Sardo will await the kick, all by his lonesome. Bateman tries to kick it away. Fair catch called for, and Del Sardo watches it take a big Valpo roll inside the 10-yard line, so the Eagles will have tough field position now.
The best punt return, he doesn't even have to return it, just catch it and save the yards for the team. Don't let the ball bounce towards the end zone.
Especially if you're going to signal fair catch, you got to go handle the ball.
Go get it.
Yeah. He signaled fair catch and let it hit and roll.
Looked like they had a pretty good return set up here to the right. And the punt that they wanted. Lots of field.
More than they anticipated, obviously, because Bateman appeared to be trying to kick it away from him, but it did come back inside near the hash mark. So 37 seconds now to play first quarter. Valpo leading Morehead 7-0. The Eagles, deep in their own territory, will start at their own 9-yard line.
You know, it's amazing. Nothing's gone right for Morehead, but they're only down 7 points.
Ooh. That's Morrison on the carry again, hitting back in the backfield and thrown for a loss.
Canada. Lawrence Canada hitting it. Lawrence Canada, inside linebacker, got a little NFL background with him too.
His father played running back in Denver.
And his dad was a big man. Oh, he came right through. He got narrow to get to the opening, turned his shoulders, and made a good tackle.
You know what happened there, Coach? The Valpo went to a bare front, which means they covered the center and both guards. I mean, I don't think Morehead knows what to do when they cover both guards. Canada was scot-free in there.
Well, the clock is going to expire in the first quarter. Canada, Valpo's leading tackler, ends the first quarter with a tackle for loss. And Valpo looks very good thus far. It's the Pioneer Football League Championship. Valparaiso 7, Morehead State nothing. It's been all defense with 2 outstanding offenses being shut down thus far. We'll be back for the second quarter on the Football Network with just a moment.